Okay, how to play Hwei. Pin comments explains. For skill build, level 1 you get Q, level 2 you get W, and level 3 E. Then you max alt, then Q, then E. Okay, to play him in his Q tree, which is your general main source of damage, you use QQ for a quick line nuke with AoE explosion at the reaching of a target that has a small width on the line, so sometimes you have to be precise on the aiming, especially with up close aggression when they have a lot of damage or CC or both. QW is my favorite skill of his, but still garbage. QW is his AoE circle delayed skill shot by 1 second, so you do have a little bit of calculation, a little bit of prediction in it, but also like you have to think where they'll be in the AoE in 1 second. It also has the most range that does bonus damage to isolated or immobilized targets that are low. Good for sniping kills or assists or comboing. Uh, QE is his delayed line AoE that does the most DPS if they can sit in it for a little bit or for full duration. It also has a decent slow to make them sit in it a little bit longer or for combos. His W tree. WQ is his line skill shot that speeds up himself and allies walking towards the direction. WW is his skill shot shield that is a circle that amps up a bit and lingers a little. WE is how he gets bonus damage on his autos and spells, and early on and later on mana. So WE is mostly what you're going to be using, but W tree is very long cooldown, relatively speaking, if you needed the shield or more WEs. Um, his E tree. His EQ is his fastest line skill shot that doesn't ignore minions or jungle creeps, which is both an advantage and a disadvantage, depending on if you're jungling him mostly. I guess if you want it, or if you have something blocking it, a major disadvantage. It briefly fears them to run away from Wei, and also does some nuke damage. EW is a small to medium range, mostly small, skill shot, which sets up a sentry trap that will fly out after a duration, and when it lands on the spot you chose, a small but very significant after and a small but very significant duration. And when it has locked onto a champion after it's flied out, which does take a little bit of time, and targets them, they will without fail once it locks on it'll rush to them to do a mini route to a decently long route at max of 2.25 seconds. And also the damage too. This is good for comboing with QW and other things like QE or R or and EE is a short to medium range, slight delayed AoE nuke. They all do the same damage, by the way. That also pulls people in its small AoE range and slows them. His ultimate R. It's his delayed line skill shot, which is very easy to miss sometimes. That does a ton of damage over time, and even more when its dot ends for finishing pop, and it has a bit of AoE element to it. This is a lot of damage on most targets, especially squishies. Combos. You can set up WE for bonus damage and mana ahead of time or quickly on the fly and R someone, and then as they are being slowed, EW and land it, and then anything from the Q tree like QW, QE, even QQ if you just need to be fast. Really, whatever you need or want. And after you get Sork and 2 items, escaping at low HP after R comboing is much rarer, especially the squishier the target. Okay, for item builds, get Lost Chapter as fast as possible. Then you can go Sork Shoes or finish Caster's Companion. Then finish Sork Shoes. Storm Surge is your next item, then Void Staff, then Shadow Flame. Finally finish Death Cap. For runes, I recommend Dark Harvest for QW snipes and Mana Flow Band and Gathering Storm. Double AP and armor.